Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the world of Formula One, a sport so technologically advanced, so fiercely competitive, that it makes a kickabout in the park look like a tea party with the vicar. We're talking about the bleeding edge of engineering, where teams will stop at nothing to gain an advantage, even if it means bending the rules until they snap. And over the years, there have been some cracking innovations, brilliant bits of kit that were so revolutionary, so mind-bendingly fast, that the FIA, in all its infinite wisdom, decided to ban them. So, buckle up, petrol heads, because we're about to take a high-octane trip down memory lane to uncover 6 of the most groundbreaking, most outrageous, and most banned innovations in the history of Formula One. Now, for those of you who've never experienced the raw, unfiltered thrill of driving a classic Formula One car, let me tell you, it's a bumpy old ride. Every bump, every ripple in the asphalt feels like you've driven over a herd of sleeping camels. But then along came active suspension, a bit of technological wizardry that changed the game. Imagine, if you will, a car that could adapt to the road surface in real time, adjusting its suspension on the fly to maintain perfect balance and grip. It was like giving the bloody car a brain transplant from a hawk, instantly reacting to every twitch and turn. Teams like Williams, with their all-conquering FW14B, absolutely dominated with active suspension. Nigel Mansell, bless his cotton socks, was practically unbeatable. But of course, the FIA, in all their infinite wisdom, decided it was just too good, too easy. It was like giving a schoolboy an AK-47 in a water pistol fight. So, in 1994, they slapped a ban on it, much to the chagrin of drivers and engineers alike. I mean, who wants a smooth ride anyway? Where's the fun in that? Now, picture this. Sweden, 1978, the Swedish Grand Prix. The air is thick with anticipation, the smell of burnt rubber and high-octane fuel hangs heavy in the air, and then, out of the pits rolls this thing. The Brabham BT46B, affectionately nicknamed the fan car. Now, this wasn't just some clever engineering, this was like strapping a jet engine to a go-kart. You see, this bad boy had a massive fan at the back, and no, it wasn't for keeping the driver cool under pressure. This fan, my friends, was designed to suck the car to the track, creating so much downforce that it could corner faster than a cheetah on a hot date. And fast it was. Niki Lauda, a man who knew a thing or two about speed, piloted this beast to a dominant victory, leaving the competition in its dust. The other teams, naturally, cried foul. They moaned and they groaned, complaining that it was unfair, unsporting, and downright dangerous. And the FIA, ever the wet blanket, caved to the pressure. Just one race, that was all it took for the fan car to be banned. Consigned to the history books as a glorious, if short-lived, example of what happens when you push the boundaries of motorsport a wee bit too far. Now, you might think that 6 wheels on a car is a bit excessive, like giving a fish a bicycle. But back in the 1970s, some bright sparks in the F1 world thought, why not? And so, the 6-wheeled monsters were born. Teams like Tyrrell, bless their adventurous souls, were at the forefront of this bizarre experiment. Their P34, with its 4 tiny front wheels and 2 massive rear ones, looked like a cross between a shopping cart and a lunar rover. The idea was simple, really. More wheels, more grip, more speed. And let me tell you, these things were bloody quick, at least in a straight line. But like a drunken octopus on roller skates, they weren't exactly known for their graceful handling. The FIA, ever the sticklers for tradition, eventually put their foot down and banned 6-wheeled cars in 1983, much to the relief of tyre manufacturers everywhere. I mean, can you imagine the cost of putting shoes on those things? Chapter 4. Turbo engines, power so explosive it was banned. The glorious era of turbocharged engines. Those were the days when Formula One cars sounded like angry wasps trapped in a biscuit tin, and they were about as subtle as a hand grenade in a china shop. We're talking raw, unadulterated power enough to make your eyeballs sweat. These engines were pumping out over 1,000 horsepower, more power than a herd of stampeding elephants on a sugar rush. Drivers like Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna were wrestling these beasts around the track, pushing them to the absolute limit and beyond. It was a spectacle of speed and skill, a true test of man and machine. But then the fun police arrived. The FIA, concerned about the rising costs and the potential for, shall we say, unfortunate incidents, decided to put a stop to the turbo party. In 1989, they slammed the door shut on turbocharged engines, ushering in a new era of, dare I say, slightly less exciting engines. Chapter 5. Double diffuser. Bending the rules and the air. Now, if there's one thing Formula One teams love more than a good old-fashioned champagne shower, it's exploiting loopholes in the regulations. And when it comes to bending the rules, the double diffuser was a masterpiece of ingenuity. This cunning bit of aerodynamic trickery, essentially a second diffuser hidden beneath the main one, generated a shed-load of extra downforce, sucking the car to the track like a Hoover on steroids. It was a stroke of genius, but it also sparked one of the biggest controversies in recent F1 history. Teams like Brawn GP, with their double diffuser-equipped car, stormed to victory in 2009, leaving their rivals fuming. Accusations flew faster than the cars themselves, protests were lodged, lawyers were called, and the FIA found themselves in a right old pickle. Eventually, in 2011, they decided to ban the double diffuser, restoring order to the grid, but not before it had left its mark on the sport. Chapter 6. F-duct blowing away the competition, literally. Now, have you ever been driving down the motorway stuck behind a lorry with a loose piece of tarpaulin flapping in the wind? Annoying, isn't it? Well, imagine that, but instead of a tarpaulin, it's a Formula One car, and instead of flapping in the wind, it's deliberately channeling airflow to go faster. That, my friends, is the basic principle behind the F-duct, a wonderfully ingenious system that allowed drivers to stall the rear wing at the push of a button. This reduced drag and gave them a much-needed speed boost on the straights. It was like having a secret weapon, a nitrous boost you could activate whenever you needed to overtake some unsuspecting rival. Teams like McLaren, never ones to shy away from a bit of technological innovation, embraced the F-duct with open arms. But alas, all good things must come to an end. The FIA, in their infinite wisdom, decided that giving drivers a button to instantly gain speed was a step too far, like giving a toddler a chainsaw and a free pass to a bouncy castle. So in 2010, the F-duct was banned, much to the disappointment of drivers and fans alike. Outro innovation, the lifeblood of Formula One. So there you have it, 6 of the most groundbreaking, most outrageous and most banned innovations in the history of Formula One. These technological marvels might have been outlawed, but they left their mark on the sport, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and reminding us that Formula One is about more than just driving fast cars. It's about pushing the limits of engineering, about outsmarting your rivals, and about finding that extra tenth of a second, even if it means bending the rules until they scream for mercy. These innovations might be gone, but they'll never be forgotten. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more exciting F1 content. See you next time.